Congratulate the whole team, cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the camp.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Food from all of the base. My ace boom goon, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Superdome here in downtown New Orleans. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. Play action now. Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And some room to run now. Touchdown, Cowboys. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets into the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gain 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage. Winston. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Fielded at the 20. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Prescott now from the 50. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the 1st. Prescott on 1st down. That's caught. It's James Washington. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. The run on 1st down gets them a couple up to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
On 3rd down, Winston. There's Chris Olave. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara 44 yards. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutt's good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutt's to kick it off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Now this throw complete to Washington. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Elliott running right. David Onyemata, excellent effort, and he earns a tackle for loss.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Prescott. That's caught again by Schultz. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Saints 7.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. 61 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, here's Breida. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Good for a Saints. First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Throwing, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Winston now to throw on first down. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. 27 yards. And the Saints have got it back to within a score. Lutz with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Prescott going to keep again. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
78 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Second and 9. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football? And there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Finding Elliott for the catch on the out route. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Able to hit his target, Lamb. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The kick by Marr is good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On first and 10, Winston. He's going to air one out. And this one is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Final play of the half here, Winston. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Working out of the gun, Winston. The pass caught by Olave. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Fourth down, Winston. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Jameis to throw it. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw is Winston. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now Winston on 4th down. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the gun, Winston. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And contact defensively, and that might make things 5 yards easier. So that'll move them up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, he'll definitely take him.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Give them 11 on the gain there. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. Here's Winston. He's got Thomas yet again complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his second touchdown of the night. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21.
Saints 21.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
Calling the game at 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On the sneak, it's Prescott. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
But that wound up backfiring. Instead of handing it to your workhorse fullback or running back, they went quarterback sneak, and now they have to punt it away.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down. No problem there. They get the first by plenty on 4th and inches. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this certainly a key moment in this game, trailing by 3, 4th quarter with a spot in the championship game next weekend on the line. 123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better really as the night's gone on. One play has him up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
The busy night continues for Kamara, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. No, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Second down, Winston. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
A partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now Winston. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Pressure comes, and down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott. Under pressure, they got him again. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Winston to give, it's Kamara. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 142 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. On the very outer edge of field goal range, it would be 56 yards if they got nothing here on 3rd down. Winston to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So they haven't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win. Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he got it! The kick is good. He splits the uprights. And in doing so, he sends them to the NFC title game. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
the best that you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best.